Ladies and gentlemen, great to see you today and welcome to this, our very special Southeast Asia and New Zealand Brochure launch travel show. I'm Andy, Head of Global PR here at Wendy Wu Tours, and I am delighted to be with you today. We've got lots coming up. So, coming today, we have got virtual travel journeys throughout Southeast Asia and New Zealand. Plus, we'll be meeting the experts who know all about these destinations. Lots to come. And please, ladies and gentlemen, stay with us until the end of the show, where we'll be going over to our virtual travel lounge, where you'll be able to meet our experts and talk with fellow travellers as well. That's going to be a lot of fun. So join me there later in the show. Ladies and gentlemen, how exciting. I'm joined now by Wendy Wu, founder of Wendy Wu Tours. Wendy, great to see you today.
Great to see you too, Andy. Great to see you, everyone.
Now, Wendy, we're here today. Lots going on in travel right now. The world is opened up again. It's fantastic news for us all. And of course, Wendy, a new touring collection for Southeast Asia and New Zealand. So, Wendy, why now? Why launch this now?
Andy, because I'm not sure if you know it or not, in the whole world, you possibly know, the most strictest country for COVID is actually China, still closed. Japan, opened on the 10th of June, which Wendy Tours is the first company to go there, take our passengers. And then Vienna was the first of all, opened at the end of March. And now everything in Vienna is going back to normal. So no more testing, no more mask. And just like the rest of the wonderful world, that's why it's a perfect timing to launch it now, Andy.
So Wendy, great news. A new Southeast Asia and New Zealand touring collection, all very good. But Wendy, ladies and gentlemen, just like myself, we're all watching the news. We're all seeing horror stories about flight cancellations, delays. Come on, Wendy, is this an issue for Wendy Wu Tours?
Andy, to answer it short, let me give you one example. Last Thursday, 10 o'clock, we got the news, Lufthansa canceled their flights. Our group is departing on next day. It was a desperate situation. Our team, such capable, hard work, professional team, immediately worked on flights. And by the end of the day, they find every passenger new flight with a different airline. Also, we contact every customer to ensure they know about the situation and tell them, now we find you a new flight, but it's in the afternoon. That means you will get that at midnight. And then we also ensure our local partner contact all the hotel, give them the best welcoming, and they have the best rest. And also they can sleep in the next day and make sure they don't miss a thing in the city. So the travel dream is intact. Everybody, I just want you to know, your trip is your travel dream and it's our passion. You are traveling with Wendy Tours. One way serve you. All we will do, and we will do everything to ensure you can travel and have the best time, doesn't matter what.
Wow, fantastic news, Wendy, and what a team you must have at Wendy Wu Tours. You heard that, ladies and gentlemen. No matter what happens, and where others have failed to get you away travelling, at Wendy Wu Tours you're completely safe and you know that you're going to travel. Now, Wendy, I've interviewed you lots of times in the past. We've done lots of travel shows together and you've always stressed the importance of travelling now. And as we've clearly seen, no matter what happens, you can still travel now. Why, Wendy?
Yes, Andy, that I always said, when a country is completely closed, then it's reopened again. That's the best time to go if you can get there, because it will be, place is rejuvenated, and the place will be pristine, and the local people having thinking tourists will be so much loving your presence there. They will have so much more welcoming, and plus there will be no crowds like almost travel return 30 years ago. You will be up closer, personal with the sights and with the animal, and your experience will be magic, and money cannot buy. And Andy, trust me, right now the Georgia group, Armenia, Azerbaijan, 23 days group, they are there having the time of their lives. And we have so many groups in Japan. They keep on sending photos to us. It's absolutely amazing. The wonderful Meiji Temple, the wonderful palace, the wonderful sites in Japan. Our group just have it all to themselves. And they said, really, this is magic. So go now if you can make it. And we want you to have the best experience. That's us. Your travel dream is our travel dream.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard how important it is to travel now. And between now and the end of the year, Wendy Wu Tours have got lots of departures to Vietnam, Cambodia, and throughout Southeast Asia. So please do take a look at the website to see all those departures that are coming up in the next few months. And we would strongly encourage you to take advantage of this special time, the reopening of these destinations where you literally have the country to yourself. And so, ladies and gentlemen, talking about getting away this year, well, Wendy Wu Tours have a brand new tour for you, and it's happening this Christmas. Yes, Christmas in Vietnam. How does that sound? You can experience the magic and the joy and the celebration of spending Christmas Eve and Christmas Day on Ha Long Bay. How incredible is that? You'll experience all the joys of the wonderful season in Vietnam, surrounded by friends, I'm sure, who will become your family after this very special holiday. And so, ladies and gentlemen, yes, let the festive bells ring. That was Christmas in Vietnam. Now, ladies and gentlemen, a question for you. Did you know that Wendy Wu Tours own their own state-of-the-art river cruise ship on the Mekong? Well, yes, they do. Wendy, tell us more about this, the Victoria Mekong.
Andy, thank you. Yes, the Victoria Mekong is the greenest ship on the Mekong River. No plastic, solar power, recycling water, and plus we built the ship so we can go to the route that is the most authentic on the branch of the river. So you, our customer, will be able to meet the locals who has never met a foreigner except you. The authenticity. So that's our Victoria Mekong, which bring Saigon and Siem Reap together on classic Mekong or Mekong Explore and all these fabulous tours, Andy.
Lots of tours there, ladies and gentlemen. If you look online again, you'll see exactly which tours feature the wonderful Victoria Mekong. So ladies and gentlemen, touring with Wendy Wu Tours is pretty unique. And for those viewers today who have joined us who don't know, who haven't experienced touring with Wendy Wu Tours and why it is so unique, we're going to find out why. Wendy, come on. Nearly 25 years in business. You've pretty much perfected the art of escorted touring. So come on, how have you done it and why?
Thank you, Andy. Just for our new friends, and I know so many old friends and great friends here, that we do tours fully inclusive. As we mentioned before, we take care of your flights. We take care of all the new visas which Joe took over to make it so hard, but we take care of all that. And we take care of 3 meals a day every day, and all the sightseeing and even evening entertainment. And we always have the best guide, which they make a great tour to a magic tour. That's us. So it's fully inclusive. All you need to do is pack and come with us to experience the magic. And the magic is not just a tour. It's we dig deep. The history, the culture, the authenticity. We bring out absolutely the best of this nation. So when you go there, you don't just travel there. You live beautifully and extraordinarily for the time when you are there with us.
So ladies and gentlemen, we're back and you may have noticed something a little bit different. Something has happened whilst we've been away. Yes, we've been joined by a multitude of awards. Fantastic, extraordinary, golden awards. Wendy, come on, tell us more about these amazing awards.
Thank you, Andy. Everybody, yes, we are very proud. For 12 consecutive years, we have been winning the best specialist tour operator by the Globe, which is the Oscar of our travel industry, and devoted by all the travel professionals, hundreds of thousands of travel agents and travel product managers, and etc., etc. And in addition to that, we won some magnificent British travel award. For example, for the best company for Far East, best company for the Southeast Asia, best company for Central Asia, and the best company for the escorted holiday. We are very proud. And that British Travel Award is voted by our customers. That's our friends, old friends and new friends. We will continue always to look after your travel dreams. And thank you for your support, and we want to continue to win. Thank you.
So ladies and gentlemen, you've heard lots today about travelling in Southeast Asia. But ladies and gentlemen, did you know Wendy Wu Tours actually operate in over 44 countries worldwide? That's a lot of countries, Wendy, and a lot of escorted tours. So I want to know, and our audience today want to know, out of those countries, what are your top tours? What are your favourites, Wendy?
Andy, that's my favourite question. Yes, we do 44 countries, but we only do what we specialize in. Everything we do, we dig deep, and then we bring the best out. We don't go to any country. It has to be iconic, very unique. And our customer need us. We will go to this country. So my most favorite for Southeast Asia is classic Mekong. That one, of course, is Vietnam, Cambodia, and plus the cruise. Join Saigon and the Siem Reap together. That's Southeast Asia. For Japan, we are the number one for Japan. So Japan Uncovered is absolutely the number one for me. And for Central Asia, that is the romantic road to Samarkand. And we do South America. And then one tour. That is Chile, top to toe. And then for Europe, then it is Portugal. We do Portugal like no other. And they are my most favorite tours. Thank you, Andy.
Wendy, very, very interesting. Thank you so much for joining us today. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been fantastic to talk to Wendy today. Thanks, Wendy, and we'll see you again soon.
Yes, thank you, everyone. It's wonderful to see you. Please come and travel with us, and let's together make the travel dream brighter than ever.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard that one of Wendy's favourite tours is the Classic Mekong. So we're now going to go over to Sandra Foreman to take a look at the Classic Mekong in much more detail. Sandra.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name's Sandra Foreman from Wendy Woo Tours, and I am delighted to showcase some of the highlights of Southeast Asia to you, including one of our most popular tours, Classic Mekong. Now, why I love Southeast Asia, it is a destination that has it all. It's got paradise beaches, tranquil temples, sensational food and everything in between. It is also incredibly fun and easy to explore, and it's got an exciting range of historical, cultural activities and experiences that will appeal to every sort of traveller, not to mention the fabulous cuisine, and it really is unique to each region with enriched authenticity. And let me take you through some of the highlights of this very popular tour, our Classic Mekong tour, and this is a 17-day adventure, and it starts in Cambodia, flying into Siem Reap, which is a bustling, charming town, and this is the gateway to those magnificent temples of Angkor. We'll then fly to Phnom Penh, Cambodia's charming capital, and then you'll have a river cruise in the middle of this tour and sail 3 nights downstream on our brand new ship Victoria Mekong, sailing those mighty waters of the Mekong Delta River. We'll disembark in Canton and then go on to discover the vibrant Saigon, the charming countryside in Hoi An. We'll fly to Vietnam's capital, Hanoi, which is a fast-paced, graceful city, and have spectacular views of Halong Bay, and then explore Hanoi's Old Quarter before we end this tour with a farewell dinner with our wonderful guide. So much to experience, and let me take you through some of the highlights. Our journey starts into the old city of Angkor Thom, visiting those breathtaking temples, very atmospheric. And then we'll go on to visit Ta Proom, and it really has to be seen and the atmosphere felt to truly appreciate the awesome sights. A must visit the temples of Angkor Wat, those magnificent, best preserved and most famous awe-inspiring site of all of the Angkor treasures. And as the sun sets, we'll float along Angkor's moat and soak up the atmosphere and those stunning views where you'll have some great photo opportunities. We'll spend some time on this tour visiting Cambodia's charismatic capital, Phnom Penh, which sits on the banks of the Mekong. Here we'll get an insight into the tragic past when we visit the Tuol Sleng Museum and the Killing Fields and the Khmer Rouge Detention and Torture Centre. Today it is surprisingly a peaceful setting. We'll take a cyclo tour to the heart of the city, where we'll visit the magnificent Royal Palace, the elegant National Museum, and pursue the treasures. And then we'll board our wonderful ship Victoria Mekong in Sisaworth Quay for a 3-night downstream river cruise. Now, Victoria Mekong is the newest river cruise in this area and the first big ship in the Mekong Delta, and it has a unique tour route. So we start our journey at Canton Pier instead of Mai To, and the reason for this is to avoid the crowds, and so on your Wendy Woo tour you can explore more off-beaten track and unique offshore excursions. She is a beautiful ship, 4-star luxurious ship with Dulux cabins and 2 VIP suites on board. Our Dulux cabins, you can see in front of you, are 25 square metres. They're of a modern contemporary design, very spacious, with a superior level of service and a walk-in rainforest shower. As you would expect on board our luxury ship, she's got the state-of-the-art facilities, including a jacuzzi pool on sun deck with a spa, massage rooms, a gym, a movie room, a library, mini golf. And as day turns to night, you'll experience some of the traditional Vietnamese folk music, dancing and entertainment on board. Now again, one of my favourite parts of this tour is the show excursions that give you the glimpse of the authentic local life and the opportunity to interact with the locals and their captivating cultures. We'll visit that bustling, famous floating markets where you'll take a smaller boat and have the opportunity to weave in and out of the markets where the local farmers are selling their fascinating exhibits and traditions in this region. You'll have the opportunity to experience so many traditions in this area, such as the net weavers, the incense crafters, the wood carvers. They're making the traditional clay pottery, the local rice cake makers. We visit a silk village where you can witness all the labour-intense steps of producing this fine textile, and where they use the natural dyes from the tree bark and the leaves. We also visit the plum wine distillery, and you really will get immersed in the culture of this area. We do bid farewell to the Mekong, and then we'll go on to explore the Coochie tunnels and learn about the history of that fascinating network of excavation by the Viet Cong. We'll visit the popular historic Saigon with that French colonial heritage, and the enchanting town of Hoi An, where you'll meet with the locals at the charming Reaching Out Tea House. We'll experience an exhilarating cyclo ride through Hanoi's Old Quarter and witness those colourful colonial buildings, the bustling streets, and explore the graceful home to the cultural treasures and plus the art galleries. And on your Wendy Wu tour, there is so many experiences included for you to really get close to that local authenticity. And here on this tour, you'll enjoy a spectacular open air performance celebrating the rich history and the beauty of northern Vietnam. And this show, the Quintessence of Tonkin Show, is staged entirely on water. And of course, one of the most spectacular and stunning places on earth is Halong Bay. That precious jewel in the north is very popular on this tour where we visit. We offer at Wendy Wu Tours such a wide range of tours to Southeast Asia, where on some of our tours you can explore 3 countries in one. For instance, our popular Indochina tour, you would visit Vietnam, Laos and Cambodia. We've added some new tours to our collection, and this is our Thailand and Mekong Experience Tour, which has been inspired by the growing demand for Thailand as a destination, and also the pent-up demand we're seeing that our customers are wanting to visit more than one destination at a time. And this would give you a lot of history, time to explore, and also a relaxation time exploring the Mekong Delta and some time on our Victoria Mekong ship. I hope you've enjoyed, ladies and gentlemen, me sharing some of the highlights of Southeast Asia. It is truly a wonderful destination to explore, and I hope to see you on one of our tours in the future.
So, ladies and gentlemen, touring with Wendy Wu Tours is all about experiencing those amazing, authentic, cultural, historic and total immersive experiences. Now, they are plenty in Southeast Asia. We've seen some already in Vietnam and Cambodia, but Southeast Asia is huge. So let's take a look at some of those amazing, authentic experiences throughout the rest of Southeast Asia.
Southeast Asia is such a vast and diverse region. It's not surprising there are so many incredible things to experience. You can explore miles of gorgeous emerald green rice terraces, stop by beautiful temples and shrines to learn more about the local culture and religion, or even take part in a cooking class so you can whip up authentic Southeast Asian cuisine at home. But whichever country you decide to explore, We can guarantee your adventure will be packed with unforgettable experiences, which will truly make your holiday. Now, there are so many to choose from, we can't go through them all, but here are just a few of our favourite experiences in Southeast Asia, all of which you can enjoy on a Wendy Wu tour. So, let's start in Laos. Nestled between Thailand and Vietnam, Laos is far more laid back and a tad more traditional than its neighbours, and here you can enjoy an authentic slice of Southeast Asia untouched by mass tourism. And every morning in Luang Prabang, one of Laos' main cities, you'll see hundreds of Saffron Road monks take to the streets for a ceremony known as Takbat. This ceremony sees the Buddhist monks of the city's monasteries collect alms in the form of food from the locals who line the streets. It really is an amazing sight to behold, and you'll rise early at dawn to witness this daily ritual on all of our tours to Laos. Southeast Asia is famous for its picturesque rice terraces, and the Philippines is no exception. In the northern highlands of Luzon, the Philippines' largest island, you'll find the mountainous region of Panay, which is home to acres and acres of UNESCO-listed rice terraces. One of our favourites is that of Hapao. Here you can enjoy a leisurely hike through the actual terraces, and it's so photogenic. Don't worry, you don't have to be a fitness fanatic for this trek. It only takes around 45 minutes and the terrain is largely flat. And at the end, you'll be rewarded with a natural hot spring where you can bathe and relax. And trust us, the views are totally worth it. Chiang Mai in northern Thailand is home to one of our absolute favourite animal experiences. Amongst the greenery of this beautiful rural area lies an ethical elephant sanctuary, which provides respite and care for rescued elephants. On all of our tours featuring Thailand, you'll spend the morning at the elephant sanctuary helping to take care of these magnificent creatures. You'll feed them, you'll learn about their lives, and you'll watch them bathe in the cool waters of the river. This is a rare, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get up close to these beautiful animals, and it's a real highlight for any wildlife lover. Stretching all the way from the plateau of Tibet to its delta in Vietnam and flowing through 6 countries, the Mekong River has become a lifeline for locals over the centuries. It's provided fertile lands for farming communities to flourish and become a key route for transportation. But the thing we love most about this iconic waterway is the chance to experience the day-to-day lives of the locals who live here. We have a number of tours to Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos and Thailand designed to give you a more in-depth look at life along the Mekong. On these itineraries, you'll do such things as explore floating villages where the houses hover over the water on stilts. You'll hop in a traditional Vietnamese basket boat and weave your way through the palm-lined canals. And you'll even get to experience the bustle of a floating market where the locals come to buy fresh produce. It's a side of Southeast Asia that not many get to see, but it's one of the most memorable ventures by far. We can't talk about Southeast Asia's best experiences without mentioning Halong Bay. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is Vietnam's most recognisable attraction. It's a real poster child for this beautiful country. Over 1,600 islands and islets protrude dramatically from the emerald waters of the bay. It creates a spectacular seascape of limestone pillars. And here you can wind your way peacefully through the peaks on board a small ship. You stop to explore hidden caves, kayak on the still waters, or swim in secluded coves. And can you imagine just how beautiful the sunrise and sunset is here? On many of our Vietnam tours, you'll spend the night on board the ship on Halong Bay so you can see it for yourself. How often do you get the chance to see orangutans in their natural habitat? Possibly never. But our Borneo tour gives travellers not one, but 2 chances to see these fascinating creatures for themselves. We take you to 2 of Borneo's most important orangutan rehabilitation centres, dedicated to looking after rescued and orphaned orangutans and teaching them to survive in the wild. You'll visit the nature reserves where the orangutans are released after their training, so be sure to keep your eyes peeled for these adorable residents. We actually had a group return just last month from our Best of Borneo tour, with many saying seeing the orangutans was just so special. It was the main highlight for them all. And finally, Cambodia's famous Angkor temples need no introduction. This sprawling complex is the nation's star attraction, and at its heart lies the historic Angkor Wat, the largest religious monument in the entire world. Spanning over 400 kilometers squared, you need a full day, if not more, to really delve into the many treasures of Angkor. But one of the most unforgettable moments comes as the sun starts to dip. In the early evening on our tour, you'll enjoy a peaceful boat ride around the moat of Angkor Thom for a unique chance to admire the breathtaking temples at sunset and to really soak up the atmosphere. It's just something else. It's so peaceful it feels like you've stepped back in time, and it's a photo opportunity you definitely don't want to miss.
Ladies and gentlemen, hi again. Now, we've covered a lot in Southeast Asia today, but Southeast Asia is only one part of our new brochure, the new holiday collection from Wendy Wu Tours, which of course also features New Zealand. Now, New Zealand is open now. It's open, quarantine-free for travel for those fully vaccinated, so which is great news, and a very popular destination indeed. So we're going to go over now to Paul Diamond, who is in New Zealand, who's going to talk us through the highlights and the experiences of New Zealand, Paul's home country.
Hi, I'm Paul Diamond, the Managing Director for Wendy Wu Tours New Zealand. Our country is so diverse in culture, landscape and cuisine that we thought it would be the perfect destination for a fully inclusive Wendy Wu tour. We created the itineraries you're about to see with a few key intentions. First, we wanted to showcase New Zealand's amazing landscapes and wildlife. We wanted our guests to feel like they were seeing New Zealand as a guest of a local and really finding some of those hidden secrets. We also wanted to highlight the mix of cultures and cuisines that have made our amazing country what it is now. So sit back and enjoy the journey. We start with our Hidden Gems of the North tour, which starts in the capital, Wellington, and ends in New Zealand's biggest city, Auckland. In a moderately paced 11-day itinerary, let's see what is in store for you. Starting in Wellington, nicknamed Wellywood, you'll get to discover the stories of the movies that have been produced here in New Zealand on a very interactive trip to Weta Workshop Studios. Avatar, King Kong, Lord of the Rings and countless other blockbusters have had some or all production and special effects made here. While in Wellington, you'll get to see some of New Zealand's native wildlife in Zealandia Wildlife Sanctuary, as well as a chance to taste some of the world-renowned locally brewed craft beers. After Wellington, we head northwest to the Wild West, stopping to take in the views on top of a Dutch windmill before arriving in Taranaki, where you'll experience a ride through the history of the whalers and traders at a local, widely acclaimed Tawiti Museum. We base ourselves in New Plymouth to experience the exquisite gardens and to visit the Govert Brewster Gallery, which celebrates the extraordinary work of New Zealand kinetic artist and filmmaker Len Lai. While in the region, you'll get to see the amazing landscape, visit the Tiriwa Bridge that resembles a whale's skeleton. You'll also get to have a picnic with some alpacas. We now venture into the heart of the North Island for a visit to the national park, which is dominated by 3 volcanoes, one of which we will ascend for lunch, weather permitting. The National Trout Centre is not to be missed, along with time in the town of Taupo, on the banks of the country's largest lake, which is actually a volcanic crater the size of Singapore. A trip to New Zealand wouldn't be complete without sampling some wine. So while we visit the Art Deco city of Napier, you will also taste some of the best Sauvignon Blanc in the world. After that, we head to the Waikato, Middle Earth, where you'll get to visit Hobbiton, the original set used in The Lord of the Rings, which has been maintained as a great tourist attraction. The main city of Waikato boasts some of the best themed gardens in the southern hemisphere, as well as an Asian tea plantation, Zeelong, where we shall stop and have lunch in the tea fields. Our North Island itinerary concludes with a trip via the spectacular glowworm caves of Waitomo to the city of sails, Auckland, where our farewell dinner will be on board a yacht sailing in the Waitemata harbour. But why stop at one island when New Zealand has two? Our Hidden Gold of the South Island tour is another stunning itinerary that exposes the true beauty of New Zealand. Starting in Dunedin, we take you on an 11-day trip through some of the most dramatic scenery in the world and have a whole lot of fun doing so. Starting in Dunedin, you get to see rare penguins, seals and sea lions, and even visit Larnac Castle, New Zealand's only castle, on the Otago Peninsula. Back in the city, you'll get to visit one of only 3 authentic Chinese gardens outside of mainland China, gifted to the city at the turn of the millennium from the Chinese government to show thanks for the way the Chinese workers were treated during the gold rush era of the 1800s in the Otago region. One of the most dramatic parts of the tour happens on day 3, when we board an overnight cruise ship that enters the sounds of Fiordland National Park. Dramatic peaks rise out of the water, waterfalls cascade around you while wildlife swims and flies above and below you. Words cannot describe how amazing, dramatic and beautiful this part of the country is. But there is sensory overload on this tour as we head to New Zealand's Lakes District and stay in the picturesque gold rush settlement of Arrowtown. This is our base to discover the wonders of the area, including a 4-wheel drive safari up into the mountains and down into the valleys, before a chance to spend time in the picturesque tourist town of Queenstown. Lake Wanaka is our next stop, where we stay lakeside and have another boat trip. And we also get time at Mount Difficulty Winery for platters and a time to try the world's renowned reds that come from the area's gravel hills. 2 nights at Mount Cook is another lifetime memory moment. You will board a small boat to head across a glacier lake to come face to face with a glacier. Your expert guide will navigate around icebergs and give you a chance to see the stunning views of New Zealand's highest peak. In the evening, if you are lucky, you will get to see the night sky alight with stars and planets, as this area is one of the darkest places on Earth. With no light pollution, it makes it a stargazer's paradise. You'll also be staying at a magnificent hotel called the Hermitage. You almost don't want this tour to end, but end it must. So we head towards our final destination, Christchurch. But before we get there, you will see the stunning Lake Tekapo, go whale and dolphin watching on a fast catamaran from the French colonial town of Akaroa. This town is also home to the quirky Giant's House, where you'll get to walk through the mosaic gardens and take in the stunning harbour views, before heading into Christchurch for your farewell dinner. The hidden gems of the north and the hidden gold of the south are combinable to create the hidden treasures of New Zealand itinerary. 21 days of unforgettable exploring. With everything included, you will experience New Zealand in a way you could never do by yourself. All of our Wendy Wu Tours team here in New Zealand have been involved in making sure that you see the best there is on offer and making sure every mealtime enhances your New Zealand experience. Please take time to look at our full itineraries, as I have only touched the surface of some of the highlights on these itineraries. Thank you for your time, and I do hope to see you in Aotearoa very soon.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Now, solo travel. Solo travel is huge. It's big. And now, if, like myself, you like to travel on holiday as a solo traveller, then there are 2 different options that you can do with Wendy Wu Tours. Firstly, you can join one of the current escorted tours, where you'll be travelling with lots of different people, all like-minded, who all enjoy travelling just like yourself. But if you prefer to travel with other solo travellers, then why not join one of our solo exclusive departures? And there are many of those as well. Just have a look on the website. Either way, whatever option you take, you're going to be looked after to the hilt. At Wendy Woo Tours, you're looked after all the way. Everything is included. So all you need to do is just sit back, relax, and enjoy your holiday. But don't take our word for it. Here's the views and the news from some of our solo travels who travelled with us recently.
I've been very fortunate that I've had 2 long tours already with Wendy Woo, 4 weeks in China and 4 weeks in South America, both on my own, and they were absolutely fantastic, to the extent that I almost don't want to travel with any other company now, because I just feel everything is so well organised, from the initial booking to getting safely back to England. The guides are superb. The range of activity suits me perfectly. So there's some history, some geography, quite a lot about the culture of the area, the opportunity to try things, whether it's dance, music, cooking. Every day brings a new delight, really. And I do feel so well looked after. If there's any sort of problem, like in the run-up to this trip, I was worried about COVID and what would happen if I tested positive, what would happen if I had to isolate. And the logistics department answered all my queries immediately and was so reassuring and made me feel confident that people would help me every inch of the way. And that has been the case, actually. It's been marvellous to be so well looked after. I love that the meals are included, so I don't need to start wandering around at night on my own, trying to find somewhere for dinner in a strange area. I love it that all the entries are included, so there's not this big debate about should I, shan't I, how much is it going to cost, how much money do I need to take with me. I've hardly spent anything, to be honest, just incidental expenditure. So I think the value for money, which is not my main priority, but it is also extremely good.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, what a show. Haven't we just had a great time travelling throughout Southeast Asia and New Zealand? It's been terrific. And thank you for joining us today. Thanks for taking the time to be with us on this very special travel show. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go over to our virtual travel lounge. If you scroll down the page on your screen, you'll see the button where you can join the travel lounge. Just click on that button and you'll be straight in. And remember, this is your opportunity to talk with the experts, to meet like-minded travellers just like yourself, and to ask any question that you want to ask on travelling with Wendy Woo Tours, travelling on an escorted tour throughout Southeast Asia and New Zealand. It really is open to ask anything that you want to ask. It's been a pleasure. I've really enjoyed seeing you today, and I'm going to be in the travel lounge now, so I look forward to seeing you there. See you soon.
We found Wendy Woo to be spot on from start to finish, with all the actual interactions from the booking to the preparation for the trip to arriving at the airport. It's been painless and faultless. Wendy Woo They really do look after you.
I've been on other tours before, and yeah, Wendy Woo definitely includes sort of a lot more, makes it a lot easier.
I liked the idea of what Wendy Woo offered. They have an excellent reputation. So I looked at a number of other tour companies, but Wendy Woo seemed to be the best.
Everything being included is really important. It makes it very, very easy, and you don't have to worry.
I just felt confident that that Wendy Woo would know, the best places to go and the best things to do, and it's proved so far on the trip. It's proved correct.
I've been really impressed with not only right from the start when I rang up to book, the staff in the office were really helpful, just kind of organising things and making sure that we got all the right paperwork in.
Our national escort was Lily. Lily's been fantastic, so full of energy and so helpful. She calls us Lily's family. She's always referring to us as Lily's family, and I think she's really helped us actually bond as a group, which made the whole trip much more enjoyable.
The Great Wall was extraordinary. It genuinely brought tears to my eyes, looking out and understanding the history, and just seeing how it was built in inhospitable terrain across the mountain ridges. It was awe-inspiring.
Wendy Woo staff, the local guides, our national guide Lily, they've been more than helpful on many occasions, and they have done absolutely everything they can to ensure that we've had the trip of a lifetime.
I hugged a panda, which was an amazing experience and one that I will never forget.
I recommend Wendy Woo tour to everybody, and tell them that if they want to go to China, nobody better than Wendy Woo tour.
I will recommend Wendy Woo. It's been a terrific experience with them. I've been very pleased.
Oh, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
I'd recommend it to people that want to go on an adventure and visit somewhere they'd probably only see once, but to see the authenticity rather than just the tourist highlights that you could see internet.
I will certainly recommend Wendy Woo tours when I go back to England. In fact, I'm sure we'll be going on more Wendy Woo tours because we want to go to Vietnam and other places, and I'll see Wendy Woo do those tours, so we'll certainly be booking again with Wendy Woo.